إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي له فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ثم أما بعد وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. And to all those out there, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are back reading. This is our 9th session. Reading Kitab al-Siyam min al-Fiqh al-Muyassar, the book of fasting from the book entitled al-Fiqh al-Muyassar, easy fiqh or simple fiqh or fiqh made easy. Fi daw'i al-Kitab wa Sunnah, in the light of the book and the Sunnah, which was put together by a number of ulama, and it has an introduction by Sheikh Saleh al-Sheikh. Ala kulli hal, in every situation or condition, we have reached the 4th chapter. We have reached the 4th chapter regarding the disliked and prohibited fasts and other issues. Our issue today is the disliked and prohibited fasts. Ma yukrahu, what is disliked. One second. Now, what is yukrahu wa ma yahrumu, and what is prohibited? Yahrumu min as-siyam. What is prohibited, what is disliked of fasting. First, here we have a number of points related to fasts which are either prohibited or disliked. There are a total of 6 of them. Inshallah, we'll cover them all today. Al-awwal, the first of them, yukrahu ifradi or ifradu, yukrahu ifradu shahri Rajab bis-siyam. It is disliked to single out the month of Rajab for fasting, as we'll see, meaning to fast only during the month of Rajab. I'm going to fast only during Rajab, or I'm going to fast only because it is Rajab. And this is something that in the West we're probably not very familiar with. This idea is not something that we've grown up on, due to it being a matter of jahiliyyah that for the most part for us it has been wiped out. But for those from other countries where people might have picked something up, some innovations here and there, then it might be something they know about. So yukrahu ifradu shahr Rajaba bis-siyam لأن ذلك, because that min sha'airi al-jahiliyyati, that is from the signs or the signposts, those symbols of al-jahiliyyah. وَقَدْ كَانُوا يُعَظِّمُونَ and they used to exalt هذا الشهر. كانوا يعظمون هذا الشهر. They used to exalt this month. They used to pay high tribute and refuge and respect to this month. فَلَوْ صَامَهُ. So if a person fasted it, مَعَ غَيْرِهِ, along with other than it. So if a person fasted in Rajab and also fasted in other than Rajab, lam yukrah. Lam yukrah. It is not disliked. لأنه, because it, لا يكون, it is not حينئذ, حينئذ, it is not at that time, حينئذ, at that time, مخصصا, singling it out or being specific or specializing it, lahu bisiyam. It is not specializing it or singling it out with fasting, because you not only fasted Rajab, but you also fasted other months. Rawa Ahmadu ibn Kharashata ibn al-Hurri. This Ahmed ibn Kharasha ibn al-Hurri, he narrated. Qala, he said, Ra'aytu Umara ibn al-Khattaba, or ibn al-Khattabi, asif. Ra'aytu Umar ibn al-Khattabi, radiyallahu anhu, yadribu, beating or striking, akuffa. Akuffa is the plural of kef, meaning your palms of your hands. He saw him beating the palms of the hands of the mutarajjibin. Mutarajjibin, meaning those people who used to single out Rajab. Mutarajjibin, right? Those people who used to single out Rajab with fasting. Hatta yada'uha. Hatta yada'uha, until they would take fit ta'am, until they would take some food, meaning he would beat them with their hands or beat them on the palms of their hands until they would take some food. Wa yaqulu, and he would say, Kulu, eat, eat, fa innama huwa shahrun kanat tu'azzimuhu al-jahiliyyah. That should be a dhamma there. That because it is only a month which the Jahiliyyah used to exalt. It's only a month which the Jahiliyyah used to exalt and revere and respect. You see, Amir came in. Are there any questions about this so far? Assalamu alaikum, Amir.
وعليك السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله أنا بخير. كيف أنت يا أخي؟
أنا بخير ولله الحمد والمنة.
الحمد لله. الثانية يكره إفراد يوم الجمعة بالصيام. The dislike of singling out the day of Jum'ah for fasting. لقوله الله عليه وسلم, due to the statement of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, لا تصوموا يوم الجمعة, do not fast on the day of Jum'ah, إلا أن تصوموا إلا أن تصوموا يوما قبله أو يوما بعده, unless you're fasting a day before it or a day after it.
Yeah.
فإن صامه مع غيره فلا بأس بذلك. So uh, so if it's uh, so if it's fasted with other another day, then there's no problem with that.
Yeah. Exactly.
لل- yeah, للحديث الماضي, uh, due to the hadith before.
Yeah, the previous hadith, meaning لا تصوموا يوم الجمعة. Simple. طيب جزاك الله خيرا. طيب. So it's disliked to single out Rajab for fasting, right? And it's disliked to single out Jumu'ah for fasting. وَيُكْرَهُ إِفْرَادُ يَوْمِ السَّبْتِ بِالصِّيَامِ. And it's disliked to single out Saturday for fasting. What is the case if the white nights occur on Jumu'ah? Well, if the white nights occur on Jumu'ah, then you would be fat. There's three of them. And if you're fasting all three of them, then you're going to fast the day before it or the day after. You're not going to be fasting Jumu'ah alone. Besides that, as we'll see on Yom Sabt, are you fasting Jumu'ah because it's Jumu'ah, or are you fasting it because it's one of the white days? Right? If you're not fasting it, similar to what if Ashura or Arafat falls on Friday? If Arafat falls on Friday, that means the next day is the Eid. So you cannot fast on Saturday because it's the Eid. And you did not fast yesterday, but you want to fast today because it's Arafat. Are you fasting today because it is Arafat? Or are you fasting today because it is Jumu'ah? So that's part of the meaning of ifrad, not just doing it alone, but doing it because it is it. So that doesn't mean you can't fast in Rajab, but you can't fast in Rajab because it's Rajab and not fast in other months, right? But what if the only time I was home, or what if the only time I was healthy was in Rajab? I can't fast? No, you can, because you're not fasting it because it's Rajab. You're fasting it because that's when you have the ability. Likewise on Jumu'ah. But the white days, or white nights, however you choose to say it there, that's clear because you'll be fasting the day before or the day after it. Anyhow, so yukrahu yawm sabt bisiyam. It is disliked to single out Saturday for fasting. لقوله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تصوموا يوم السبت إلا فيما افترض عليكم. Do not fast Saturdays except in what is obligatory upon you. Except for what has been made obligatory upon you. وَالْمَقْصُودُ, and what is intended here, what is the goal or the intent here, النهي عن إفراده, the prohibition of singling it out, وَتَخْصِيصِهِ, and it's doing it specifically, bisiyam, making it specifically for fasting, meaning Saturday. أما إذا ضم إلى غيره, as for if it was dumma, meaning connected to or added along with, if it was connected along with other than it, فلا بأس, then there's no problem. So if you fast the Friday or Sunday here, they're saying there's no problem with that. لقوله صلى الله عليه وسلم لأم المؤمنين جويرية, that he said to the mother of the believers, Juwayriya, وقد دخل عليها يوم السبت or يوم الجمعة, and he had entered upon her on the day of Jumu'ah. وقد دخل عليها, he had entered upon her on the day of Jumu'ah. وهي صائمة, and she was fasting. Qala, he said, in other words, it doesn't say qala here, but in other words, qala, he said, asumti, ams, did you fast? Asumti, ams, did you fast yesterday? Qalat, la, she said no. Qala, turidina, and tusumi gadin, turidina, and tasumi gadin, do you want to fast tomorrow? Qalat, la, she said no. Qala fa'aftiri, then break your fast. Then break your fast. You're fasting on Jummah. You did not fast yesterday, and you do not want to fast tomorrow. Fa'aftiri, so break your fast. Fadalla, so his statement, qawluhu, his statement points to or shows or leads to, like the word dalil. Dalil, what is a dalil? It is a guide. It is an evidence, right? So it points to, it shows, it is evidence for turidina and tasumi gadin. His statement, do you want to fast tomorrow? Shows ala jawazi. It shows the permissibility siyami yom sabti. Shows the permissibility of fasting Saturday ma'a ghayrihi. If you fast with it along, if you fast something else along with it. قال الإمام الترمذي رحمه الله, Imam al-Tirmidhi, he said, may Allah have mercy upon him, عقب إخراجه حديث النهي الماضي, at the end of عقب, at the end of إخراجه, him bringing forth the hadith of prohibition that we just read, al-Madi, the previous hadith about prohibition, ومعنى الكراهية في هذا, the meaning of the dislike in this, أن يختص, that you single out and specialize الرجل, that a man specializes يوم السبت بالصيام, he specializes Saturday with fasting. لأن اليهود, because the Jews يعظمون يوم السبت, because the Jews, they revere and show honor to the day of Saturday. So, are there any questions?
Can we say yu'adhimuna glorified?
Yes.
Okay.
You glorified, respect, honor, revere, has many meanings. Yeah, it's fine. You either want to glorify, it's fine.
Okay.
طيب. So it's just like to fast Rajab only. It's just like to fast Jumu'ah only. It's just like to fast Yom Sabt only. What else? Yeah, Amr. Number 4.
الرابع تحريم صيام يوم الشك وهو يوم الثلاثين. Wait a second. 30th. Oh, okay. وهو يوم الثلاثين من شعبان, and it is the 30th day of شعبان. إذا كان في السماء ما يمنع رؤية الهلال, and it is when the sky is of that, when the sky becomes where you cannot see the sighting of the moon. فإن كانت السماء Sahwan. Is this correct? Sahwan.
No.
So if the so when the so when the sign not sign, subhanallah, when the sky becomes clear, فلا شك, then there is no problem. Wait, is it فلا شك? No problem?
No, fala shak, meaning then there's no doubt.
No doubt. Yeah. There's no doubt.
No doubt. Meaning, so for instance, it's cloudy out. We don't know if the moon was seen yesterday or could have been seen yesterday or tonight or not. It's cloudy,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's not cloudy and we didn't see it. But maybe we didn't see it, or maybe maybe it was seen, but maybe we didn't see it, or maybe it wasn't cloudy. It's no doubt. You
Right.
understand?
Yes.
It's not the day of doubt now. It's not the day of doubt. It's definitely the 30th.
Correct.
Not like it's the doubt. We're doubting. No, right?
نعم. ودليل تحريمه, in the evidence for its prohibition, حديث عمار رضي الله عنه, is the hadith of Ammar, may Allah be pleased with him. قال من صام اليوم الذي يشك فيه فقد عصى أبا القاسم. Whoever fasts the day of shak has disobeyed. Wait a second. من صام يوم الذي يشك فيه. Whoever fasts on the day where there is doubt in it has disobeyed Aba Qasim.
No.
ولقوله
اليوم الذي يشك فيه, whoever doubts the day in which whoever fasts the day in which there's doubt regarding it, I mean, is it Sha'ban or not, right? So they're going to fast anyway. Then they have disobeyed Abu Qasim. They're not sure, so I don't want to be eating, and it could be Ramadan because it was cloudy, so we don't really know, right? The Prophet ﷺ said, don't do that. Go ahead.
Just one question about yushaku. I said yushaku, and you have
Yashukku.
Yashuku. Okay, inshallah. ولقوله صلى الله عليه وسلم, and due to his statement صلى الله عليه وسلم, لا oh, you don't have it. Okay. لا يتقدمن أحدكم رمضان. Do not advance. That's what I have here.
That's fine. Do not advance. Do not put forth.
No,
Do not advance.
Any one of you the month of Ramadan بصوم يوم أو يومين, with one day of fast or two fasts or 2 days. إلا أن يكون رجلا كان يصوم صومه فليصم ذلك اليوم. Okay. إلا أن يكون رجلا, except if there is a man who fasts his fast, then fast that day. I knew the meaning of this. Right now I just can't remember what it actually means. It's obvious.
Except for a person who he already has something that he's going to do. So for example, a person fasts every al-Ithnain wal Khamis. Always. He never misses Ithnain or Khamis. And today is al-Ithnain. But it could have been the first day of Ramadan as well. So now it was cloudy last night, so it's Yom Shak. Right? It was cloudy. It's Yom Shak. We're not sure was it Ramadan or not Ramadan. Right? So what we're going to do, we're going to consider it the 30th of Shaban, but it's Yom Shak. So it's not permissible for a person to fast on the day before, which we're going to count to be the 30th because it was cloudy. It's not permissible for a person to fast on that day, trying to be careful and make sure that they get all the days of Ramadan. It's not permissible. Not permissible to be doubtful in acts of worship, right? You have to have certainty when it comes to acts of worship. But if a person fasted every Monday and Thursday, and the 30th happens to be a Monday, for example, then there's no problem with him fasting that day, even if it falls right before Ramadan, because he's not trying to add to Ramadan. He's not trying to clear up the doubt. He's trying to fast the fast that he always fasts anyway. You understand?
No.
طيب. So if it's a fast that a man fasts, meaning if it's something that he always does, فَلْيَصُمْ ذَلِكَ الْيَوْمِ, then let him fast that day. Even if it's a day of shak that most people, cannot fast, but he has a regular fast that he's doing, so therefore it's permissible. وَالْمَعْنَى
والمعنى, in the meaning for this, لا يتقدم أحد, no one precedes رمضان بصوم يوم, no one precedes Ramadan بصوم يوم يعد منه بقصد الاحتياط. Okay, so with a day considering
والمعنى لا يتقدم أحد رمضان. No one should precede Ramadan by fasting a day, considering it yu'addu minhu, meaning it's considered from him, biqasd, with the intention of ihtiyat. Ihtiyat is like being careful. Weighing out on the side of caution. So, hey, it might have been Ramadan last night, but it was cloudy, so I'm going to fast. No, this is fasting the day of shak. This is ihtiyatan. This is meaning being careful. Being careful. So, for example, are the thighs part of the aura or not? Right? Because the Prophet ﷺ had his thobe or his clothes rolled up above his ankles, above his knees, and his thighs were showing while his feet were dipping in the pool. And then Abu Bakr came in and joined him, and Omar came in and joined him, and he stayed that way. Then Uthman knocked on the door. They said, "It's Uthman here." Then he covered up his thighs. Later on, they asked him, when Abu Bakr came, Omar came, you stayed as you were. When Uthman radiallahu anhu came, then you covered up your thighs. Said, why should I not be shy in front of who? The angels are shy in front of. So the Prophet ﷺ kept his thighs open. So they used this to say, Imam al-Bukhari himself, when talking about is the thigh aura or not, he says, like the hadith showing that the thigh is not authentic. The hadith of the showing the thigh or the thigh not being aura are more authentic than the hadith that talk about the thigh being aura. But basically, ihtiyatan, but out of caution, right? Then we don't show our thighs like this. You understand? But out of caution, then we don't do this. That's one thing. But here we're talking about, so this is a person fasts the day before out of caution. Maybe it was Ramadan. Ihtiyatan. That's what it means. فَإِنْ صَامَهُ
فإن صامه مرتبط فإن صومه مرتبط برؤيته. So when his fast is connected to sighting.
I'm sorry, this should be فَإِنَّ صَوْمُهُ. فَإِنَّ صَوْمَهُ. فَإِنَّ, this is صَوْم is a noun here, but it's after. It's not, yeah, فَإِنَّ صَوْمَهُ.
نعم.
So indeed it's fasting it. Fasting it meaning here the ha meaning Ramadan. فَإِنَّ صَوْمَهُ مُرْتَبَطٌ بِالرُّؤْيَةِ. It is tied to the murtabat is linked to, it's tied to the sighting. فَلَا حَاجَةَ.
فلا حاجة إلى التكلف.
No.
So there's no need to do to التكلف. Can you like explain what this تكلف means?
Takalluf comes from being it means to like place an extra burden on yourself. There's no need for you to take takalluf means like responsibility, right? Like the person who is mukallif, right? The person who is he's Islam, he has his aql, he's reached puberty, then this person is mukallaf, this person who is now responsible for his deeds. Takalluf here means to put like extra responsibility upon yourself. There's no need for this, right? The fasting it is by seeing it. So why are you going to go and now put extra responsibility upon yourself by doing Yom Shak? You know, there's no need for that.
أما من كان له ورد يصومه فلا شيء عليه. فلا شيء عليه.
فلا شيء عليه. No problem.
أما من كان له ورد. And if there, as for who, oh man, I know that there's this is repetition when it's ongoing.
No, weird is weird. Yes, weird is something that you do on a regular basis. So, for example, you talk about the Prophet ﷺ, like if you miss your weird, right? Meaning for what you pray at night, you always pray at night, right? You always pray 5 rakat to Qiyamul Layl, always. You never pray less than 5. Then in the morning, if you miss it, then you make 6 at duha time, right? If you always pray 11, then in the morning you make 12. That's your wird. Likewise, your wird is a juz a day or 2 juz a day. Like that's my wird. I might do more than that sometimes, but my wird is a juz a day. I recite a juz a day, 2 juz a day, whatever it might be, right? A half a juz a day. That's your wird. Likewise, your wird here, talking about fasting, you fast Mondays and Thursdays, or you fast whatever you might fast. It's something that you always fast, and it falls on a day of shak, فَلَا شَيْءٌ عَلَيْهِ. Then there's no problem.
نعم. Jazakallah khair for that.
No, weird. So weird is also, you have a weird of adhkar al-sabah and adhkar al-masa. This is what I mean by weird, right?
لأن ذلك ليس من استقبال رمضان. لأن ذلك ليس, because this is not, for verily this is not a welcoming to the Ramadan.
Yeah, this is not لأن ذلك ليس من استقبال Ramadan. It's not something that you're doing to start off Ramadan, to welcome Ramadan, right? You're not doing this fast on Monday because Ramadan could start on Monday or Tuesday, right? And it was cloudy on Sunday night, so Monday's the day of shak, right? So you're not fasting Monday because it could be Ramadan. You're fasting it because it's part of your weird.
How do you say this word? ويستثنى ويستثنى من ذلك أيضا. Exception for that, or from that, there's also exceptions for that. القضاء والنذر لوجوبهما, making up and or excuses for the 2 obligations.
They will due to them both being obligatory.
due to them both
due
being.
to both of them being obligations, right? So yustathnam min dhalika. Also, what's removed or excused from fasting on that day. So, for example, say I need to still make up more days from Ramadan. I got one more day to make up, and tomorrow could be Ramadan, or it could be. So, if it's tomorrow's Ramadan, I'm not going to be able to make up that day before Ramadan. I got to start Ramadan. But tomorrow is not Ramadan because it was cloudy last night. I can fast that day before Ramadan in order to make up my day from last Ramadan if I still need to. And another, if I said, for example, I'm going to fast 3 days next week, if you cure my mom from cancer, whatever, then she gets a good thing, cure from cancer, and the only thing next week is, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever, and then the day of Shak. Day of Shak falls inside of those days which I said I'm going to fast, and you fast it even if it ends up connecting it to Ramadan, because that's an oath or a vow that you took that you have to fulfill. Right? So you're not fasting the day because it is possibly Ramadan, rather you're fasting it to make up, or you're fasting it to fulfill an oath. Are there any questions? Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Somebody else joined a minute ago, but I didn't. We were talking to Amir. Does the same apply to Sundays as the Christians revere it? Fasting on Saturday alone, like I said, a lot of this stuff here in this book is what is the Qawlu Rajih, the strongest statement according to those people who put the book together. There are many other statements and many other discussions like Yom Sabt. We could talk about that from Sheikh Al-Albani's point of view and get different information possibly. Well, not possibly, but for sure. but this is what is in the book, so we try to stick to it for the most part, right? But definitely there are dislikes in fasting Yom Al-Ahad and Yom Al-Sabt, even though they're because there's something that the Christians and the Jews do, and it's a long discussion of which days are this and which days are that. Is it weird of the kuffar to look at us weird when they see the sunnah? Oh, it is weird? Something common? I guess, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let me read this next one, inshallah. Hopefully, I got to take my son to school soon, but hopefully we can get through it, even if I don't want to leave 6 off. I don't know. طيب يحرم صوم يومي العيدين. It is prohibited to fast the 2 days of the Eids. لحديث أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه. Due to the hadith of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu anhu, naha an-Nabiy sallallahu alayhi wa sallam an sawmi yawm al-fitri wa nahri. He prohibited us, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam prohibited us from fasting the day of Fitr and the day of Nahr, the day of sacrifice. Wali hadithi, and due to the hadith of Umar ibn al-Khattabi, Umar ibn al-Khattabi radiallahu anhu, and due to the hadith of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, qala hadhan yawmani naha Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. These 2 days the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam prohibited an siyamihima, from fasting them too. Yawma fitrikum, the day of you guys breaking fast. Min siyamikum, from your fasting, the day of eating or the day of breakfast from your fast. Wal yawma al-akhira, yawm al-akhira, 1 second. Well, Yom al-Akhirah. Akhirah, Asif. Yom al-Akhirah. And the other day, Ta'kuluna. Ta'kuluna fihi. You eat in it. Min nusukikum. Nusukikum. And you eat in it from your nusuk, your sacrifices. So the Prophet ﷺ, Messenger of Allah ﷺ, prohibited from fasting these 2 days, the day on which you break fast from your fasting, and the other day in which you eat during it from your sacrifices. طيب. Oh, he said it's a dad joke. Yeah, I see. MashaAllah. That's good. That's good. Well, I don't want to stray too far because I gotta, we want to finish today. But sometimes our sense of humor has to be harmful and sarcastic and foul and stuff like this in order for it to be funny. So you read the Prophet ﷺ told a joke to the old lady about she ain't entered paradise because old people don't enter paradise. Or can you borrow a camel? No, I'll give you the baby of a camel. What can I do with a baby camel? All camels are babies of camels. Like this stuff doesn't seem funny to us, but this was the Prophet ﷺ's sense of humor. But it's not funny to us because we have such a horrible level of tolerance that the small simple stuff isn't funny anymore. Let's say if you break your fast, what if you break fast, let's say 3 hours before sundown? Do you still have to make up a full day? Of course. You nullified that day, right? You nullified that day. So yeah. Amr, you want to read this quickly?
I'll try quickly. يكره صوم أيام التشريق يكره صوم okay. وهي okay, the prohibition or the not prohibition, the dislike of fasting the days of tashriq. وهي 3 أيام بعد يوم النحر, and this is the 3 days after the day of sacrifice. الحادي عشر والثاني عشر والثالث عشر. It is the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th. لقوله صلى الله عليه وسلم عنها, and due to the statement of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم about it, أيام أكل وشرب وذكر الله عز وجل, that it's the days of eating and drinking and remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jal. ولقوله صلى الله عليه وسلم, and due to his statement صلى الله عليه وسلم يوم عرفة ويوم يوم عرفة ويوم نحر وأيام التشريق عيدنا أهل الإسلام. Is that right? عيدنا or عيدنا? Okay, عيدنا أهل الإسلام. So the day of Arafah and the day of sacrifice and the day of and the days of Tashriq are Eids, are Eids Ahlul Islam, of the people of Islam.
Are Eid the people of Islam? No.
وهي أيام أكل وشرب, and they are the days of eating and drinking.
No. طيب. تشريق from شرق يشرق is when they used to cut the meat into strips and then lay it out on the ground to dry up. So it become like a beef jerky type of thing. Ayam al-Tashriq is the day they used to sharriqu the meat, meaning to cut it into strips so that it would dry out. So it's called Ayam al-Tashriq because they used to save their meat. for the rest of the year, right? Because they didn't have meat all the time. And so now we have all this meat because everyone's coming and bringing their sacrifices. So that's what they would do. Cut it into strips and dry it out so it would last throughout the year. Now go back real quick. Ayamu aklin wa shurbin wa dhikrin lillahi azza wa jal. Right? Not dhikrillah, dhikrin lillahi. And remembrance for Allah. Same thing though. Same meaning basically. Could be a subtlety, but just for reading, wa dhikrin lillahi. Wa rukhisa
ورخص في صيامها في ورخص في صيامها للمتمتع. Okay, let me translate this. ورخص, and it is a permission for fasting it. No, for fasting. Wait a second.
Yes, for fasting them.
For fasting them.
Meaning the ayam tashriq, right?
Right. للمتمتع, for enjoying oneself, for enjoyment. والقارن, and to unite. إذا لم يجدا.
لم يجدا. It's yajidani. It's yajidani. There's two of them. However, because of the lam, it becomes medzum. And how do we make yajidani? How do we make that form of the verb medzum? By dropping the noon. Hadf al-noon. So lam yajida.
لم يجد ثمن الهدية, and who cannot afford the sacrifice, who cannot find the sacrifice or afford it.
Yes.
لحديث عائشة وابن عمر رضي الله عنهم قال
Ibn Umara, because it's Umar min sarf Umar.
وابن عمر رضي الله عنهم قال, they said, لم يرخص, it is not permitted or allowed, في أيام التشريق, in the days of tashriq, and يسمن, to fast, إلا لمن لم يجد الهدية, for the one who does not find a sacrifice.
No. So it's permissible for the person who is al-mutamatti' and a qarin, two types of hajj, where they join together between umrah and hajj. If they do not find an animal to sacrifice, or one to buy to sacrifice, then they are to fast the days of tashriq, as to make up for this shortcoming that they made hajj without having a sacrificial animal. So they are to fast the days of tashriq. As for everybody else, right, it is not permissible for them to fast. Lam yurakhis fi ayam at-tashriq an yasumanna. Is not permissible for anyone. It's not acceptable. It's not allowed for anyone to fast except for the one who was on hajj and umrah and he did not find a sacrifice. Then this person can fast. No one else has the right to fast on these days. Ayamu aklin wa shurbin wa dhikrin lillahi azza wa jal. Tayyib. As for the brother's statement up here, Abu Abdurrahman Abdul Khaliq, I can't see his whole name there. Anyway, yes, and fast the rest of the day, meaning if you broke your fast 3 days or 3 hours before sunset. If you broke your fast 3 hours before sunset, then on purpose, knowing that it was, still 3 hours left, then you have to make that day up, not the whole day. If you broke it for one of the things which break it, like menstrual cycle or whatever the case might be, of those things that make it impossible or not possible to fast, if you broke it for those reasons, then you don't have to make up. You don't have to. You have to make up that day, But here he's saying yes, and you have to fast the rest of the day. Well, not if it's one of those things that break the fast automatically, like menstrual cycle, postpartum bleeding, so on. Also, the scholars differ over that issue because you already broke the fast, so you're not fasting. Should you go out and eat in public and this and that, you know, uh, and be an open sinner? Of course not, because you're sinning if you broke the fast without an excuse. Should you go out and eat in front of everybody? No, you're sinning now. But do you have to fast that day? Allah knows best. Maybe he has a fatwa for that. I don't know, because you've already um, you're not fasting anymore. Doesn't matter. But maybe as a fatwa, as a punishment for that person, they would say he has to uh, fast it. Anyway, with that, if there's any questions, then text them to me. One brother said I texted you. I texted you on WhatsApp. Yes, you did. You said Salam alaikum. How you doing? Man, you know how many text messages I get a day, Akhi? We talked about this once before in one of the classes on the weekend or something. I don't know. If you want to text me, talk to me, tell me what's going on, what the question is, what the project is, this or that, fine. As far as just going back and trying to say Salam alaikum, wa alaikum salam, how are you? I'm good. I subscribe to your channel. That's good. But I don't do that with people I know. I don't do that with Amr. Me and Amr don't go back and forth. You don't just tell me Salam alaikum and wait for me to tell him wa alaikum salam. And then how are you doing, Akhi? I'm doing good. Do you have a question? And I've known Amr for 20 years now almost, So I mean he don't do that. And I'm just being honest with you. I have so many people texting me about so many different things, here and from around the world that I just don't chat. You want to talk about something specific, then talk to me about it and I'll answer, inshallah. But just call and like text and want me to hang there all day to see what's going on with small talk, it's not going to really happen. It's not really going to happen. Barakallahu fikum. طيب, inshallah ta'ala, tomorrow, bi'idhnillah, we'll go into al-Bab al-Khamis, the 5th chapter, fil i'tikaf, right? Regarding i'tikaf in the masjid. Inshallah, we should finish this book by Yom al-Khamis, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. If not, like I said, Saturday. If we finish it Khamis, that gives you a whole day to review, and then you can get ready for the test, inshallah. It's a simple test, but inshallah, we're going to go over it. Barakallahu fiik. I will find a fatwa. No, jazakallahu khairan. Maybe do the same of these readings for Umrah and Hajj when it's time. Inshallah. Inshallah, no problem. No problem. We may go from another book first. I look and see which book is maybe easier from al-Fiqh, from Minhaj al-Salikin, and this one, because this will be the 3rd one that we did regarding Ramadan. See which one's the easiest, and then we'll go over that one, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.